I think in everything we do in the honors program, underneath it all is this desire to connect. IQA stands for Ideas, Questions, and Answers, and that's at the core of what we do in the honors program. I think our slogan explains it pretty well: fostering the person in the future professional. And for us, a person is somebody who knows ideas, asks questions, and seeks answers. There's more to it, obviously, but if we put the value on the ideas that they're trying to make sense of, the questions that they can construct to figure out what they're trying to know, and the answers that they're seeking to make sense of, the work that they've been asked to accomplish, then we have something that fosters more intellectual curiosity, more space for critical thinking, and that space is safe. It's an ethos that cares about a student's ideas, a student's questions, and a student's answers, not something artificial like IQ. That's why we talk about IQA and not IQ. One of the lessons that we teach is to question assumptions, or to question the status quo. But you have to be able to question assumptions that allow the group to move forward. Because anybody can question something that's being done, but I think it takes that better question, that more effective question, to get the group further along. I think the students have gotten braver, believe it or not, in the questions that they're willing to ask. What's my favorite question? There was a professor of management in the Harvard Business School. His name was Clayton Christensen, and he wrote a book called How Will You Measure Your Life? And probably pound for pound, the best question I've ever encountered is, what has to prove true for this to work? Many people, students included, people out in industry, they will know how to write up a plan. They will know how much budget is needed and how it will be spent. But they haven't always asked what needs to happen, what conditions must be met in place in order for this plan to work. I think in everything we do in the honors program, underneath it all is this desire to connect. If you impress upon the students that they have this moral imperative to connect with others, and not just the others that they want to know, but with anybody and everybody that they encounter in their lives, to appreciate that connection between them, then I think I've taught them something meaningful. It's probably one of the best lessons that we can learn, and I think that is a lesson that is entirely needed right now. Pretty much everywhere we look, if we devoted more time to appreciating what connects us and what could connect us, I think we would have a better place, broadly speaking, all the way around. If the faculty are doing their job, they're making it so that the students will learn what they need to learn. And they will graduate and they will do well in the world, hopefully in their lives and in their professional lives. I think if you ask most faculty, they don't expect the students to remember every single word that they taught them, but they'll have set an example. And this is what's improving the human condition. And that example is of a person who cares about learning and who thinks that education really matters. And that's what I think that at the end of the day, 5 years out, 10 years out, if they remember the example that I tried to set in the classroom of somebody who cares about their ideas, the questions that they ask, I've really tried to appreciate those questions. And I've truly tried to understand the answers that were important to them. And by answers, I mean, a result, etc., anything that can stand in for an answer. But if they have that good example imprinted on them of what it means to care about these three things, I think we're going to create not only successful students, but really caring students at the end.